Oh yeah. Look at that beautiful, beautiful engine. So what we're looking at here is a 92 or 93 N14E and 310 horsepower, I believe. Let's take a look here. No, 330. 330E. Oh yeah, this baby's perfect for me. So hopefully this engine is going to go in my pulling unit, and it's got an old 2-stroke Detroit and 671, and it's gutless, and it's missing compression, and I mean it's just gutless. So we got a long ways to go. So the plan is I'm actually going to keep it in these frame rails. I'll have to chop these down right here, and then I'm just going to set it on top of the frame and hook up an automatic. So this is an N14, and I don't know how many N14 automatics there are in the world. Not very many. So we got a flywheel here, and I found a flex plate off of a old military truck. I got this thing for $100 used, and the pattern appears to be the same, the 6 bolts, and then the 12 bolts around is hopefully the same. I'm gonna have to find I think I could find one I can measure, and so I'll put that flex plate on there, and then I will mount up an automatic behind here and maybe extend this frame out so the whole thing is one unit, and throw it in my rig and be very, very happy. So I've already made sure it's free. It's been sitting for a long time, 10 years or so. And I put oil inside the cylinders, so you can see there's oil already. And I made sure it's free, and she fired on just a tidbit of ether, and that's when I stopped, because I don't really like ether. So I finally moved it in here in my garage, which was very fun. I used these Harbor Freight wheel jacks to get it in on here. So I'm going to keep it mounted just everywhere the same. Hopefully that power steering pump is big enough. It probably isn't, but I think I'm going to try it. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this stuff off that is no longer necessary. All of this stuff. Brake lines, everything. Don't need that no more. AC is coming off too. I don't need AC where I'm going. Then after that, I am going to open up this, take off this power steering pump and clean it out. It's probably everything, all the accessories were very stuck. Everything was very stuck, even the belts were stuck. And so this air compressor, I'm gonna probably put some oil in it, maybe take this off and take the unloader out and put some oil in it, maybe free it up a little bit. And come around to this side, we have this was very stuck. I mean, I don't even know if it spins. It's just locked up. I'm just gonna take it out, and I'll get a, might use the one I have off the rig. I think it's the same unit or not. And basically I already got the fan belts off. It is also has coolant at least to here, because when we loaded it from where I bought it, this leaked a little bit, but you can't really check it. I might pull this fitting and check it later. It's green coolant. But after I get all the necessary accessories off, I'm going to get this thing and get the accessories freed up, I'll put the power steering pump back on. I'll leave the alternator off and the fan off. Then this is not working. If you go put it on something like this, you can get it to work, but once you put it on here, it does not work. So I don't know. I'm going to try to get it working again. And then the wiring is chopped right here. And where else? It's chopped in two places. It's also chopped right here. So get her wired up. All I need is basically on and off on this thing. And I don't need no gauges or nothing. I'll do gauges. I'm going to do electronic gauges through the computer. It is just a, what do they call it, a select? Yeah, just a select, not a select plus, which is a kind of a bummer, because then I would just do an engine controller and then not have to worry about anything about it. So I do have the cab this came out of, an old International 9400, and I will have to wire up a diagnostic port, and I think that's where I'm going to get my gauges at, hopefully. And because in the rig, I'll show you tomorrow, in the rig, you're not even looking at the gauges. You know, you basically go until it shuts off, and then you figure out what happened. So I'm just going to use probably a diagnostic tool or an engine, or an older style engine controller, and it could just tell me what's wrong instead of actually having gauges. You can't look at them anyways. So, but I'll get this running. I'm going to keep coolant in it. It's going to be a wet engine. We're going to install it wet. Over here is the coolant. Got two connections and a hose for a coolant reservoir. One connection goes here. That's where I want to check it out. Go to check the coolant at. Another connection goes here. Not sure why, but oh well, I don't care. And then once I get it running, I can then swap the flywheel out for the flex plate and put an automatic to it, and also chop these frame rails straight so it's even all the way across. This is going to be a job. Oh, I also need a starter. The previous owner did some parts deletes on this thing, so I'll have to, like the engine bracket, I think the dipstick for the power steering's gone. That's why the power steering tit reservoir's hanging, because I didn't want any more water in it. And this was deleted. This was loose. The fuel shut off, and the governor's deleted. So, and they rigged up a different fan control, which is completely fine by me. So hopefully this won't need a fan at all. I've run some Cummins before, and they run nice and cool. Don't use a fan very much, a couple times a day. So, and I will also have to figure out trans cooler. So a lot of people, they just put a big shell cooler over here, and they're usually mounted on Detroits, and I got no love for Detroit, or very little love for Detroit, so we're going with the Cummins here. And I'll probably just have to go off of here. There's more plugs. I might go to 2 and a 1 to get enough flow, or maybe just one. A small bottleneck would probably be fine. And then I'm wondering if I can go back into here. So I'll have to get a flow. I got a flow diagram, I think, inside. And so I can run a trans cooler, because there's no provisions on this block like there is on my old Detroit. It's trans cooler's just mounted right on the side of the block, right next to the oil cooler. So, but yeah, it's very exciting. I got little to nothing into this motor. What I will be putting on it the parts I'll be putting on it will be worth more than the whole motor, and I got more things, fuel tanks, drive lines, everything. So yeah, it's gonna be very fun. I can't wait. N14 is one of my most favorite motors, and I wanted an M11, but you got to piss with the cock you got. So, and this was all together. I mean, just all these little mounts and stuff. I mean, they'll just nickel and dime you to death. So if I just bought just a straight engine, but this thing is pretty heavy. It's probably pushing, I don't know, 4,000. Doesn't seem like a lot. The engine weighs 2, I think, or a little more. So see what we got.